What's going on YouTube? I can't do it. Right, anyway. Today, I am going to be destroying your hopes and dreams. Or just a small perception you might have on the game in reality. Right. Why is the meta? I want you to close your eyes. We'll keep them open, I don't really care. And just think, why? We're going to use the M1A as an example. It's like the go-to gold standard of meta weapons. If you have the Regulus, you'll probably be using the Regulus, but not everyone has the Regulus, so M1A, the classic M1A. Why is it meta? What makes the classic M1A meta? I'll give you a sec, come on, think about it. Now, if you thought or said to yourself, well, it's like the highest DPS rifle. No, not even close to being the highest DPS rifle. Oh, it's got like the highest sustain. Oh, no, that's even worse. Like, seriously. This is a DPS sheet. It shows top to bottom, highest DPS at the top, lowest DPS at the bottom. I've highlighted the classic M1A in white for you. It's 7th. Granted, the M1A CQB is the number one, but we're not worried about that. We're worried about the fact that the classic M1A is like the go-to gold standard for meta weapons, and it's only 7th in DPS. Well, what about sustain? Oh, it falls even lower. It's 12th. In sustained DPS, it's 12th. The ACRSS, the LOV-C, Lightweight M4, Ravenous, Merciless, the UCS .45, the MDR Battle Rifle, Resolute, MK47, the MK17, UIC 15, Mod 2, and then the M1A CQB all beat the M1A Classic in sustained DPS. Right, the mystery's over. Let's just get straight into this, despite the fact we're like nearly 3 minutes in. M1A Classic, or the Classic M1A. It is meta for a variety of reasons. One, its overall handling. Like the fire rate mixed with its stability, its accuracy. By the time you've landed one shot, the reticule falls down pretty much in the exact same spot. Despite the fact that a lot of the higher DPS weapons, the UCS .45 being one of them, it's like the second highest DPS rifle in the game. I will challenge anyone to put on their normal rifle build that they would typically use with the M1A Classic M1A, put that weapon on and just try and hit anything. Hell, stand 5 feet back from the White House and try and hit the White House with consecutive shots at its maximum RPM. Don't just pull the trigger, wait 10 years, pull the trigger again. I did it, you're a shit YouTuber. No, actually spam it as fast as you can go. You can do that with the M1A and you'll pretty much hit your target every damn time. That in conjunction with the fact that although it doesn't have the highest DPS because of how hard it initially hits, this also goes in line with another video of DPS does not equal TTK. As far as I can figure out, the classic M1A and the M1A CQB are pretty much tied for the lowest TTK. This means they kill things the quickest. So it's not always about high DPS or high sustain. One thing you need to take into account is missed bullets do not count towards DPS. Yes, the USC .45 might do a hell of a lot. Like the difference is actually staggering if you look at it. It's like 70k difference comparatively from being the top DPS. The USC .45 only loses about 17.4% overall DPS from the M1A CQB, where the classic M1A actually loses over 25%. That is a massive difference in DPS loss between just the USC and the classic M1A. But the USC .45, its handling, its accuracy, its stability, it just doesn't work out. So overall, in terms of DPS that actually hits, not on paper, practical versus paper, the classic M1A at that point then technically, through a technicality, becomes a lot more powerful in higher DPS and sustainable DPS because it can actually land shots. That being said, this then all goes awry when you look at different weapons. Now, this may just be the way I play, but I have found that weapons with higher sustain serve me better in the long run. Despite the fact that there is the trope that FAMAS go brrr, I personally don't get along with it because I always feel like I'm running out of ammo, and over the course of a longer drawn out fight, a mission, raids, just control points, I find that the FAMAS falls quite short. Yes, highest DPS, but when it comes to sustain, it is pretty, well, I'm not going to say low on the list, it's 5th. It's not that great. TKB, AKM, the AKM, military and black market, and the F2000 all beat it in terms of sustain. Admittedly, not by much. There's like, between those 5 weapons, there's 4% difference between them. They are very, very close knit. Then when you look at SMGs, it even goes further mental because sustain basically means nothing, weirdly, and you actually want to go more towards a DPS side of things, which of course Lady Death just wins outright. That being said, in terms of DPS, all but 2, the UMP45 and the T821, every other SMG outperforms in terms of DPS every AR. The only reason why ARs are preferred over SMGs is quite simply because of the optimal range. I believe the highest SMG optimal range is 22, and that would be the MPX and the backfire. LMGs, these are weird despite the fact that LMGs are typically intended to be sustain monsters, and that's basically how I would try and build them. They all pretty much suck at sustain, mainly because if you sustain your fire too long you suppress the enemy. So what's the point in their LMG? Well, they've actually got some hilariously brilliant DPS options, and out of all of them, because it's literally the MG5 and the L86, and personally the MG5 for me is a piece of shit. The only LMG, minus the Pestilence, the only LMG for me that is worth using is the L86. It just outperforms every other LMG and near enough trashes every AR. Now, I'm aware this completely answers nothing, but I just thought it'd be food for thought. Why is meta meta when the categories and why things become meta are so mixed bag? Anyway, have fun, good luck, don't die. Mwahaha.